Hey ladies and gents, welcome to another Player of the Week review for the International Cup, December the 1st, 22, and oh my word, we've got some players in store here. So starting off with Kylian Mbappe, this time a left midfield forward, and just look at those stats, really quick with the ball, without the ball, good finishing. You know, his crossing isn't obviously the best, that's not where his sort of strong point is, but he's got really good balance as well, along with offensive awareness, so he's going to get into those advanced areas. He can play striker as well if you need him to, but one of the things I want to point out here, I think he would work really well on the left hand side. Reason being is because he's got one touch passing. That's so important, especially in those wide areas. First time shot, and then he's got some really nice skills as well, such as double touch and the scissor feint. So a very, very nice player to have in your side, obviously. And if you haven't already got him, then yeah, he's going to be a worthwhile addition. Also notice that he's a whole player here. Normally he's a goal poacher, so that's another thing that to sort of taken into account. He probably won't work as well as the centre forward as the other Mbappes. That's what I would say. Richarlison, who is a fox in the box, decent stats all across the board, so you can do a bit of everything in terms of like bringing the ball under control, operating those tight spaces. Fox in the box, I tend to find those are better for like crosses in my opinion. I don't know if he's going to be all that great in and around the box, unlike a goal poacher where he's sort of preying on the last man, like you're looking for that through ball. So yeah, it'd be interesting to sort of see what you guys think of this guy, but we'll take a look at his player skills. First time shot is obviously key. It's a bit disappointing he doesn't have the one touch passing. He's got double touch though, and acrobatic finishing. Those are nice to have. Kovacic, now this is a player and a half, box to box midfielder, and look at that, low passing, tight possession, dribbling, ball control. Amazing stats in those departments. He's pretty quick across the floor as well, with the speed 80 and 83 acceleration, good balance, so he's able to retain the possession of the ball, and he's got some good defensive engagement. So one of the best midfielders you could probably pick up in the game. Looking at his player skills, one touch passing, through passing, weighted passing, interception, making him the ultimate well-rounded midfielder. Definitely recommend trying to get this guy. Szczesny, who saved Messi's penalty yesterday. So just taking a look at his goalkeeping awareness, reach and reflexes. Those are very, very good for a goalkeeper. One of the best goalkeepers I've seen in a player of the week pack. Goalkeeper low punt, penalty saver, are nice to have. Obviously he's got to have the penalty saver because he saved, I think it's like 3 of his last 3 penalty kicks. So he's very formidable in that area of his game. Fernandez, who's having a good start to the World Cup with Argentina, and it shows here with his sort of great well-rounded stats across the board. Good tight possession, low passing, lofted passing, finishing. You can do a little bit of defensive engagement as well, so you've got the sort of defensive and offensive aspects, and he's got decent speed. His physical contact's good, so there's no real weak spots in his game, I would say. And looking at his player skills, one touch passing, through passing, weighted passing, low lofted passing, all great to have. He has a super sub as well, so you can get boosts to these stats if you bring him off the bench, and scissor feint as well, which is a nice to have skill move. Fuller, who is a right back, well rounded, but not really one that I could really recommend, as he doesn't really excel in anything. He doesn't have good enough lofted passing or curling or kicking power in my opinion for an offensive fullback, and his player skills are kind of lacking, with man marking being the only one I could really recommend. But even then at a stretch, I mean, I don't set man marking for my fullbacks anyway, so I don't really see how this player's going to be worthwhile getting. Theo Hernandez, fullback finisher, again similar to the last fullback I just spoke about. He's much quicker, but again, his output isn't that great. 79 for lofted passing is okay, but 72 for curling is not good enough, in my opinion, for a offensive fullback. One touch passing, pinpoint crossing, gamesmanship are nice to have, and is the scissor feint going forward. But to be honest, you know, the one touch passing does help along with the pinpoint crossing, but for me personally, I think there's better fullbacks out there. Bruno Fernandes, who's having a fine tournament with Portugal, and there's obviously coming up soon is the Bruno Fernandes Cup, so be interesting to see just how this player differs to that. But here you can see he's playing the right wing forward position, not the attacking midfield position. He can play attacking midfield, he can play centre midfield, he is a creative playmaker, he'd be absolutely fine in those positions. But lofted passing, low passing, he's got great tight possession, ball control, and excellent kicking power, so you can be able to score the odd long ranger with this guy. And let's just take a look at his player skills. Obviously long range shooting is going to come in handy, but he's got one touch passing, through passing, pinpoint crossing, outside curler. So very, very nice to haves. And to be honest, definitely another recommendation from this pack. Alvaro Morata, one of my favorite players in the PES series because of his high offensive awareness, and that is no difference here, where he's got 85 for offensive awareness, decent speed and acceleration, and good finishing and good heading. So he's a very nicely rounded striker in terms of finishing, but there are better strikers out there in my opinion. But looking at his player skills, heading, acrobatic finishing, first time shot, one touch passing, absolutely brilliant to have as a striker. He's a goal poacher, so he's going to be playing on the last sort of line of defense, looking to get in behind with a through ball. Seiss is up next, the destroyer, and if you just look at these defensive engagement, aggression, tackling and defensive awareness stats, you can tell exactly the type of centre back this guy is. Going to be very similar at the mould to sort of Rudiger, and I think this guy is going to be a beast. I really do think this guy's going to be a beast. Good physical contact, decent passing, so he's good at, and he's got good tight possession as well, and ball control. So sometimes you pass it back across the back line and it's a little bit weak, but for me, this is a player and a half. I think I would not be too disheartened if you pick up this guy. Let's just take a look at his player skills. So he's got weighted passing, man marking, interception, aerial superiority. Those last three are probably the key ones for me as a defender, but weighted passing is also nice to have when you're spreading it out to the fullbacks or your wide players. And finally, Alderweireld, who's having a fine season with, or fine World Cup with Belgium, and you can see here defensive awareness really, really good, 89. Defensive engagement is a little bit low and he is pretty slow, so you need to compensate that with a faster defender with 69 speed and 66 acceleration. Good lofted pass stats though, but he isn't the best at controlling the ball across the back line with the, well, certainly moving with the ball across the back line, should I say, with 68 tight possession. But receiving the ball, he's not too bad with 74. And in terms of his player skills, man marking, interception, blocker, and acrobatic clearance are the key ones here. So yeah, a pretty decent defender. There's no real weak players in this pack, but my top three recommendations would clearly be Mbappe, Kovacic, and Bruno Fernandes. Those are my top three picks in this pack. Anyway, let me know who you get and which players you're sort of looking forward to using. Another shout would be definitely for Seiss. I really do like the look of that defender. Would not be too disheartened if you pick him up as well. So there we go, ladies and gents. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.